So this might be a complete loss, but it might be utter genius. You need to stick around and you need to find out.
Well, hello. Come right on in. You're in, Father Fish.
You guys really missed it. You really did. And I don't know how we're going to make it up to you. I guess it's going to take a little time for us to figure it out. In a nutshell, what happened was we just went through a wonderful conversation. Rich, delightful, wise, intelligent, broad-based, focused, utterly brilliant. None of it was recorded. So it's out there in the ether. If you have contact with the ether, you'll be able to pull it in. It no longer exists in our reality. However that may be, we must get this done. So we're going to bite the bullet and move forward. We do have the benefit of the wisdom of what we've already said. My experience is the first time I do something, it's really good. If I mess up and try to do it again, I lose it totally. So this might be a complete loss, but it might be utter genius. You need to stick around and you need to find out. We're talking about a problem that every fish keeper has. And the problem I've described it elsewhere as the oh my God movement, or the what do I do now movement, or the cry movement, or the whatever it is, exclamation you make when something horrible is happening. Or for that matter, when you're trying to achieve something and it just isn't happening. Just isn't there. You're trying to put the pieces together and make them a certain way and it just isn't working. And you don't know why and you get frustrated. Well, the problem with all of that is you're not doing the one thing that will make it all come together. You're not giving it time to happen. And that's a function of being patient. You have to be patient. So patience and giving things time are keys to allowing your aquarium to become what you really want it to become. Brian, you've got a packet of notes there on this subject. You got a lot more to say about it than I do. Why don't you take the next step in this conversation and help us understand how time relates to what we're doing with our fish tanks.
Well, thank you for your time, everyone, and for you, Father Fish. We came up with the idea of time here. It's like the hidden Father Fish parameter that you can't test for, but you can certainly become accustomed to and learn to figure out, hey, do I need to give it more or less time kind of thing? And yeah, really, it's the idea that if you're going to make like a natural aquarium and let nature work, well, nature doesn't work immediately. You got to give it time. So that's what we're basically discussing here is our hidden parameter time and whether or not it's going to be something that you need to give it more of. Because yeah, patience is absolutely key.
Setting up a tank. I think the fact that what we're doing when we set the tank up, putting the dirt down, the sand on it, planting, and putting a few fish in, I think that automatically somehow helps people to sit back and observe and not get their hands at it right away because there's really nothing to do. I remember Lee in England, when he first set up, when I first met him, he had a dirted tank. Well, the water was a mess, but that plants and all were very healthy. But he was in there cleaning it all the time because he just had dirt. He knew enough to do that. I said, just put an inch of sand on top of it. So he did, and it stopped that problem. And the next thing he knew, he was complaining to me. He said, "You've stolen my hobby." I was always busy with my fish tank, and now there's nothing to do. And I suggested to him that that was the moment when he became a guru, because he could now sit and meditate on his tank, appreciate it, enjoy it, and have the experience that we all create these tanks to have. We don't create them to have our hands in them all the time, to try to fix this and fix that. That becomes frustrating in time, and it becomes overwhelming further down the road. And the tank finds its way to the curb even further down the road. So a misuse of time by trying to be fixing results in utter failure, results in chaos. For the simple reason that being fixing never really respects what's happening in the aquarium, because the aquarium it's engaged in a process. And I like to think of it as a process that's like this. It kind of up and down and up and down. It'll look good for a while, then bad, and then good. But never major, never really extreme. It's just kind of a natural flow like the waves on the sea. But if you let it go, it'll become something that you will be very excited about, or that you will want to modify in some way. Pull out some plants, move them around, try a different kind of fish, add something to the substrate, maybe whatever it is. It will become apparent to you that this is something that you would like to do with the aquarium in order to bring it more into the state that you're wanting it to be, that you're trying to create. That doesn't happen quickly. I was watching a video last night about the largest tropical fish store in Japan. I think it wasn't largest, it was most beautiful or something. It was basically an ADA store. And if you know anything about ADA, it's absolute top of the line, everything. If you got deep pockets, you go ADA. You buy their $1,000 lights, their $5,000 aquariums, their $3,000 cleaning maintenance systems, filtration and the like. I mean, you spend and spend and spend, and you get something utterly glorious because they really do know what they're doing. And it really is effective. If you have a chance to watch that video, we'll get it in the link. I've got it posted on a whole bunch of my video lists on my YouTube server. Check it out. It's worth watching. Every single one of the 500 tanks in that store are exquisitely aquascaped. They are stunning. Even though the 100 little 10-gallon tanks are beautifully done. I've given an assignment to my staff. Every one of them is to watch that video by the end of the day and then begin applying the principles. We can do that without spending a lot of money. But the key to it is you do one thing and you back away and you observe it. You watch it. Amano did this all the time. He would spend a week, 2 weeks figure out where to put rocks in the tank. Until one day he had an epiphany. He was in a hurry. He dumped all the rocks in, figured, I'll fix it later, left, came back, loved it, and realized at that moment that there is a random factor involved in all of this, that if we give it credibility, if we allow it to occur, we'll generate interest, excitement, novelty, something we never anticipated. Nevertheless, all of these tanks have had many hours, even the tiny little tanks, many hours figuring out exactly where to put the rocks and the driftwood, what plants to put in one fish. You have to watch it. It's just amazing. And it's something we can do, but it doesn't happen by throwing all of it in there all at once. You do a piece at a time, and you back away, and you realize what's next, and you do that, and you back away. And then you think, okay, if I do this, and you do that, oh, that didn't work, take it out, and wait, and look, and study, and think. And inspiration, it's an artistic effort, you see, which takes time to emerge. So, time, patience, and a sense of artistry. That's vital as well, because along with that comes doing things that are healthy, that are good for the tank, and not, that is to say, if your sense of art is wholesome and healthy. If your sense of art is utter chaos and throwing feces up against the wall, you're going to have trouble applying those principles in your aquarium. Or maybe you won't. Maybe you'll enjoy the stench. I don't know. You can go in whatever direction you want to.
No, you just convince yourself that the stench is beautiful.
Right. Well, I guess if you're into it, you're into it. What do you think about all this, Ryan?
Yeah, time. I mean, if there's three things that I kind of live by, number one is patience. I deal with high schoolers all day, teaching them. I mean, you got to have a lot of that. And then the second one is basically efficiency. So am I using my time effectively? And then my third one is sustainability. And yeah, if you get all three of those things together, I mean, that's really kind of what you need to let nature do its thing. You've got some sort of idea what's going on because you're patient enough to, sit there and observe and note, like, oh, what are all the living things doing in here? Is this normal? Is it not, kind of deal? And then as far as the efficiency goes, I mean, I don't have time to do much. I've got to chase around my 3-year-old all the time. I got to do my regular job here. I got to, make dinner for the family. And so because I was patient and I figured out, like, oh, okay, it needs this or it needs that, I can go in, I can just surgically do the one thing that needs to be done and save time. And then after that, the sustainability part, I mean, that's just what we're going for here, right? Like, we're trying not to spend all of our time doing water changes, water parameter checks, you name it. And so, yeah, the more time that you can spend just enjoying your aquarium, the less time you'll have to spend worrying about making it work.
Yeah, and not leaping up and jumping into the tank every time something is a little off.
Yeah.
Something
Nature
is
works
always
itself.
a little off. There's always something happening. And if you sit back and observe it, you'll see 90%, 99% of the time it'll work itself out. And it may go into a different direction doing that, but it'll work itself out. In fact, everything does. Ultimately, anything that can happen in a tank, regardless of how terrible it is, will work itself out without you being involved. I mean, If you have a tank go utterly foul, everything dies. You let it sit there long enough and it'll turn into sweet water and new life will come into it, and it'll be a fully alive, thriving aquarium again. And that happens all by itself. I mean, there's nothing in nature that stays dead. Resurrection is a principle of nature because it's always converting into something else. When something dies, it becomes something else. And that's what food is. Food is putting something dead in the water so that it can become life. It becomes alive. It turns into something else based on whatever it is that's using it. So having the wisdom and the experience to be able to trust that process, that it's going to be okay. That's why I give people confidence all the time, because I know, however bad it gets, it'll get better. If you don't do much, it'll get better. If you do a whole lot, it'll take a little longer, but it'll get better. So there's no real catastrophe except you make it so. There are obvious things you can do. The important thing is to observe, to be patient, to observe, to try to understand what's happening, how things got the way they are, if it's going in a direction you don't like, and then figuring out something you can do to turn it around or redirect it or resolve a specific issue, rather than leaping in and doing, oh my God, I got to do a water change, when that could be the worst thing you could do. There's no single thing that fixes everything. If you're doing the kind of aquarium that we're doing, which is an attempt to create a living environment, we have to trust nature. Have to trust that living environment knows how to take care of itself in large measure. We can do things, or things can happen that can cause a drop in the curve, a drop in the life force, if you will, in the tank. And it may be that when that happens, we want to do something about it. We just need to be sure that what we're doing is going to make it better and not make it worse. Because we're very often, if we leap into something without really thinking it through, we make it worse. So taking the time, being patient, applying some wisdom and intelligence by learning and growing with this, not trusting your uninformed instinct. Not trusting your uninformed instinct. Don't think you know it all because you've been at it for a week or two and you listen to what the guy at the store said, or your favorite YouTuber said this or that. Don't trust any of that. Don't believe that you know how to do everything because you spent 15 minutes listening to a video. Reality is, you haven't given yourself the time to learn. It takes time. You have to be patient with it. You have to be patient with yourself. The people who fail are the people who don't do that, or are convinced that they know how to do this. I can fix this. I read a book once, or I watched a video, and they showed me exactly how to do it, and they wind up in chaos, in utter chaos, because they're just not sick. They're not. How can I say this? They're not allowing themselves to grow in understanding but are assuming that they know everything there is to know. And a person that thinks that way really is deeply and profoundly ignorant of reality. Because the reality is we can never know enough. We certainly can never know everything. We can never really understand on its deepest level anything at all. We are all ignorant in that respect. But recognizing that and building to gain a deeper awareness and a deeper understanding are really critical to making all of this work. That's a rant.
They're always the best. Yeah, it's again just comes down to giving yourself the grace to make mistakes along the way, to make little changes, and hopefully with time you kind of get it. I mean, I've done plenty of dumb things because I didn't give myself the time. I was looking for that quick fix. Oh no, I got algae, I got to do something about it. Or oh no, I've got too many snails, I need to do something about that. And it just took time and understanding.
Exactly right. So enjoy what you're doing. That's really what it's there for. It's there for your enjoyment, for your pleasure, for your tranquility, for your health. Let it be that. Even when something goes wrong, there's the ultimate discipline. When something goes terribly wrong, to take, well, maybe not joy in that, but to take an attitude of healing, to bring to that a sense of, how can I make this right? With patience and with awareness and with a sense of being gentle with what you're doing. Well, this has certainly been an interesting conversation. Actually, too, you all missed the first one. It was a lot more fun. But this one, I think, was a lot more informative.
Maybe I'll reenact it in a short, do a little animated thing.
Thank you, Ryan. Delighted to have you here. I'm so delighted you're on board with us. Ryan's been involved. He was involved in our book for Lord knows how long that went on, a year or 2 years. And has been filling in for me while I was under the weather this winter. I'm coming back, and we're going to be doing some really neat things. I need to talk to you about that later. We got some exciting new video concepts coming up. If you loved Tank, you're going to love Father Fish. Thank you all. Delighted to be with you. Always a joy. Love you all. Bye for now.